前はもう死んでいる。
That's right, we're reviving I Hate Bugs for one final mission in today's episode, and that of course is to take on some more bugs at level 3 combat. But real quick before we go into this episode, I wanted to let you all know that my shop is once again open, and there is going to be a limited time print for the Lower the Better series offered after this episode's release. As well, of course, besides the new merch store, just dropping a subscription is more than enough support, and it greatly helps me out if you're enjoying the series. So the worst part about doing Kalphite Queen as a level 3 is basically because I'll be doing it all solo, and that means even the running through the areas to get to the boss in the first place will definitely be something to overcome. So running to the area, I would brew over my HP as well as pre-antidote so the poison and the Kalphite worker hits wouldn't stack me out at this HP. The Guardians hit a lot more though, and I would have to take at least one hit every time in order to get to the next step of this boss. So as long as I get hit by only one of these Guardians and am brewed to my max possible HP, well, I will never die as its max hit is a 12 and my max HP is 13. Now the next step is the most important factor and what made this entire boss fight possible solo as a level 3. If you all remember from my Potato Only series and parts of this series, waiting above ground in an area that has a similar below ground mapping will allow you to keep the same aggression zone. Therefore, I would wait above ground in this safe spot of the Kalphite Guardians for 10 minutes to de-aggress the NPCs downstairs in the actual Kalphite lair where many will spawn. So therefore, once I hit this de-aggression timer of 10 minutes, I'll simply log out, log back in so the Kalphite Guardians can't attack me, and then run to the pathway in order to get down into the final KQ lair. And once downstairs, the ironic part is as long as I stay inside of this map square for the entire KQ fight, well, all of these Kalphite minions won't even be able to attack me, despite what seems like hundreds of them spawning. So now that I have the Kalphite Queen pulled out all on its own, that means I can basically just deal with this boss and this boss alone, meaning I can tick heat pretty much all of its attacks, as long as I get it over to the de-aggression zone where I have been waiting. And finally, after the waiting game of allowing for the KQ to come west to my de-aggression zone, I basically would then run to the west wall, pull it as far over as possible, and then hope that this NPC didn't fire 1 or 2 magic attacks in a row, as these would be delayed unless I was right up close to the boss. So I would basically just have to hope for range attacks from the Kalphite Queen at the start of the kill in order to get into that safe zone and start ticketing consistently, and therefore every time I would die and I did not get those 2 range attacks, I would have to go back upstairs, wait another 10 minutes, and complete the entire process over and over again many times. Because I literally just had to hope for range attacks at the beginning of the kill, and it was so RNG based to start, there was only one thing I knew to do to help my favor.
When I whet my flight and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will take vengeance upon mine enemies and ever repay those who hate me. O Lord, raise me to thy right hand and count me accountable.
Please give me some damn RNG.
Blessed by the chest.
This actually seemed to help a lot, and I did get a lot of consecutive range attacks in the row at the start of these kills. But I would also have to deal with lag and just making sure I did not mess up a singular ticky with 1 tick clearance for over 45 minutes. This is because the boss has over 255 HP in both forms, so therefore I would be spending around 600 sweets after the natural HP regen of the Kalphite Queen. As well, I had to be up close to this boss so his magic attack would register in time, but his range attack was very quick and I would only have 1 tick of clearance every single attack in the 500 attacks it would do in order to eat my sweet at just the right time. And if that's not enough, I also had to make sure I would not get crashed throughout this entire kill, so therefore I went ahead and switched to a PvP world with low amount of players online to lessen that likelihood. So the other issue I had is whenever KQ will change forms, it will wait quite a while before its second form attacks you, and in the second form its magic attack is extremely quick, once again leaving me 1 tick of clearance, but this time on both of its possible attacks. Yes, and I literally almost shit myself whenever I heard and saw that second form magic attack. So in order to combat this, whenever the NPC hit its second form to give me an extra tick of clearance between the attacks, I went ahead and basically just backed up more west, since now the delayed magic attack didn't even exist. And lastly, I would still have to get that 1 true damage on the Kalphite Queen in order to register it as my kill and get the drop and the 1 true KC. So because this boss has such high defense, my best chance once again at hitting that 1 is to go ahead and use Opal Bolts Enchanted, which have a 5% chance of hitting a 0 or 1, even on a missed hit. So after many attempts, I finally got that 2.5% chance to hit a 1 on this boss and get the final KC completely solo. But what I accidentally came to find out and wasted range EXP in doing so was that this boss needed to actually be hit twice, 1 in each form. So now I would have to go back, play the waiting game, and make sure I didn't lag or mess up yet again for another 30 to 45 minutes straight, which took another about 10 attempts to do so.
Blessed by the chest.
Game over.
Now in order to solo Venenatis on a level 3, my original plans were to actually go about using the Mind Shield or Elemental Shield Tick Eat strategy I've briefly covered in previous episodes. This strategy would allow for me to tick eat damage that usually registers on my character instantly. So therefore I had to complete the Elemental Workshop 1 requirements and quest in order to actually wield the shield. And after I went about getting access to that shield, I then went on Junior Chest Bra in order to test this method and quickly found out that there were some problems. The first problem was once again the entry to the boss similar to KQ, but this time it was just hard to predict whenever this NPC would attack you, as it could use variant different forms of attacks which decided to attack you at different ranges, putting it at a kind of guess whenever it came to which NPC attack you were going to tick eat with the Mind Shield, and it would be very difficult for you to get into a cycle off this first attack. But obviously that could be overcame once again with some RNG, but the next real problem was also that this boss drains your prayer, and like I've told in previous episodes, you're not able to actually use the prayer interfaces for the Elemental Shield Tick Eat cycle unless you have at least 1 prayer point, and since I am 1 prayer, every time this NPC shoots a prayer drain attack, well, I'm basically screwed, and I have to react extremely quick while doing everything else in this weird tick eating cycle. But I figured this could probably be overcame with a lot of muscle memory, a bunch of prayer potions, and the audio cue from Venenatis' prayer draining attack. But the final problem was really where it hit me, and I couldn't find a solution to this. Venenatis has a possibility of stacking 2 attacks at once, even if you're right up close to him, and you're not really going to know as there's no audio cue whenever this attack fires versus a traditional melee attack that's long range, which he uses. And that's when I told myself, think smarter, not harder. So even though this is an extremely noob question to ask, it came up in my mind whenever I was thinking about a way to deal with this boss. And that question is, why not just set up a cannon and run away and let the cannon kill an NPC such as this? And well, the obvious answers to why I don't do this is 1, I'm 1 range and I'll never hit on the range defense of these high level bosses, and 2, even if I was able to kill these bosses, my range would level up quite high by the time they were dead, and I would no longer be 3 combat at all, and therefore the whole video is pretty much pointless. And that's when I asked myself, is there anywhere in the game that actually boosts your range up high enough to where you could take on a boss like this with a cannon? Or if not that, is there anywhere in the game that reduces your XP, if not removes it entirely? So for those who wanted more and better rewards from Last Man Standing, well, there was one hidden reward this entire time, better than all of them. And that reward is 99 range on a level 3 and complete XP reduction. So my plan was this: set up a cannon west of Venenatis, interface stall that cannon, then go ahead and use a glory since I'm under 25 wilderness with this boss, interface that teleport, then use yet another teleport with a ring of dueling to Clan Wars, interface that teleport, and then run all the way to a Last Man Standing game, wait in the Last Man Standing game at lobby interfaced, and then finally let the cannon go free once I enter that game, and therefore get 0 range EXP, as well as be able to wear Rigor with 99 range and some pretty decent ranged attack bonus. Now, even with 99 range and this method, well, let's just say it took a hell of a lot of cannonballs and a hell of a lot of time and a lot of me refilling these cannonballs. I could have taken the easy way out and had another account de-Warhammer spec the defense level down of this NPC, but of course, that wouldn't be solo, so we had to take the long and tiring route of hoping our world didn't get crashed for about 5 hours straight. And when I say our world, I'm saying there's only one world to do this on, because there's only one members world that uses Last Man Standing lobbies. So we are literally restricted to only this one world whenever killing this boss. And if we get crashed, well, I guess that's the end of the boss kill for a long while. But of course, I had one anti-crashing mechanism right up my sleeve. And of course, this mechanism was just one of the best PKers known to man.
Chest bra. My savior Rendi. Chest bra.
So now with everything in place, I could finally go about soloing Venenatis and hope that I wouldn't get crashed for about 5 hours straight. So as I found out with this new method, well, running around like a chicken with your head cut off is the best way to play this minigame, no doubt. As you could see, this LMS cannon method I discovered has a lot of application, and not just for this stupid spider. It could be used in reducing XP for skillers when it comes to quests or quest bosses, and it could even be used on Ironman to solo some bosses as well. And that made me realize I wasn't even done soloing bosses. So that is the end of the video, guys, but before we go, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, just watching this video. Thank you so much for the support I've seen over the last few months, as I didn't even start uploading frequently, or seriously for that matter, back until March of this year, and in only 7 months I've gotten 50,000 subscribers, I've gotten 2 Golden Gnome nominations, and the best thing is I've gotten love and support in the comments from all of you. And it really means the world to me, and I hope there are many, many more months to come of this content creation, because I seriously do love doing this. And once again, guys, if you do want to show some form of monetary support even to this channel, the only way currently to do that is through the merch store, which I will link in the description below. And as well, once again, if you are enjoying the series, if you're new here, and if you enjoyed what you saw, a subscription to my channel is greatly, greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time on Lower the Better.